Hey, what's up guys? Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net. Gonna be bringing you guys the swing trading watch list and market update for the week of November 21st and the week of Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, and I hope you get to spend some quality time with your families. The markets were absolutely insane this week. The momentum continued just kind of how we suspected it would. One of the things I really emphasized last week was don't trade what you think the market's going to do. Trade what it's actually doing. And the overall market was bullish and reaching up to new highs, and it looks like maybe next week the S&P 500 has that shot at breaking into all-time new highs. So love to see the momentum in the market right now. I hope it continues for us into next week. Right now, I'm leaning that this run may lead all the way up till the end of the year, and we may be starting 2017 just like we started 2016 with a pretty big correction and sell-off. Of course, I could be completely wrong about that, but just kind of how I'm feeling right now. Definitely think that S&P 500 gets to see some new highs into next week. If you guys appreciate these videos, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, and always don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys got in your watch list going into next week, and maybe even some of the ideas that you guys had success with from that prior week. All right, guys, let's take a look at the watch list. Alright guys, first up let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500 here. We've had a nice little grind up on the bottom side of our trend line that we ended up breaking below. We got that break above our set of lower highs, which was step one for a bullish chart, and we got a nice little flag and that resistance turning support, and then the market continuing towards the end of the week. Not a big movement, but still in the overall market, in the stocks, there was tons of breakouts and tons of opportunity this last week, and actually turned out to be just an awesome week, not only for the watch list, but for a lot of the stocks that we were able to trade as well. You guys can see the 20-day moving average is trying to come up now, up over that 50-day moving average. So we're going to keep an eye next week to see if that does happen. I'm still feeling pretty bullish overall in the market sentiment, but of course we are at resistance right now, so it is not unreasonable to see a pullback or a little bit of sell-off off that resistance area right around 2180, 2190, and basically the area right before we test up into new all-time highs. I do think that all-time highs are coming before the end of the year, and as mentioned in the intro, I think that we are going to rally to finish off 2016, and I think starting late 2016, so that towards the end of December, coming into January, that we see the same thing we saw last year, and people being scared and actually being afraid, and a little bit of panic selling happened in a pretty big correction. So that's kind of where I stand right now. I think our momentum continues into next week. It's obviously going to be a short week, so keep that in mind, and let's take a look at some of the stocks on our top watch. Alright guys, first up, let's go ahead and take a look at AINV. Just got a nice little wedge kind of forming right here as the range tightens. But what really caught my attention on this was all the big relative volume that it's been trading for the last 2 weeks. They recently reported earnings and had some pretty good strong volume into those earnings and tested right up to that set of lower high resistance. And the thing here is we didn't really sell off back down towards the support. We were able to hold up above those 20 and 50-day moving averages, and even managed to get that cross of that 20 coming right over the 50-day moving average. So I'm going to see if this continues to hold up and look for a move up and over or towards these prior highs around 621. If volume starts coming in, I can get in a little bit early around 610. And the nice thing is the tight range you have here, you only have to risk about 10 or 15 cents if you get in the right side of a move for continuation here. So keep an eye on that into next week. See if we continue to hold that 20, 50-day moving average, and if we start to break out of the top side of this set of lower highs. All right, let's take a look at ATW. Had this on watch for a couple weeks now. Wanted to see if we were going to put in a higher low, and we did. Through last week, not a lot of action, but we did, however, tend to hold up, so I'm going to keep it on watch. We've got good volume that's been coming into it. Just watch and see if this wedge continues to consolidate. Let the range tighten, find a good risk reward, and see if we can't get a breakout to the top side of this and that move back up towards 960. Let's take a look at BOX. Had this one on watch in case for a bounce off that 1450 support area. Market was really weak, didn't end up coming through, but did end up finding a bottom and some buyers to come back and reclaimed that 1450 support area. And we got a nice little breakout here now. So going to keep that on an eye into next week, Monday, and see if we get any kind of continuation. This could be setting for a move back up towards 1650. Next, let's take a look at CLF. And had this one on watch for a while. Tried to get it on this bottom here, ended up getting stopped out and just kind of let it go after that. But now that the market is picking back up, this absolutely did see a nice rally back out of this channel and back up to pretty near the prior highs that it was at. But we've got a nice consolidation here and a wedge forming, so I'm just going to watch this pullback, see if we come out to the top side of it, and that'll give us a good risk reward breakout opportunity. Let's take a look at FSC. You can see the set of lower highs here, and what I really like about this chart is the big volume that it did trade on Friday. So buyers were there to step up and scoop the lows around 550s or just above, and that's a good sign that if the buyers are there to buy the bottom, that this is going to give it a shot at getting up over this 570 area and making its next move higher. Got a shot at a nice trend reversal pattern here. Might need to see it pull back a little bit. But either way, the good volume shows buying, and I think we got a shot getting up over this 570 area, so keep that on close watch. Next, let's take a look at HSC. And we got kind of just like a picture-perfect flag here after a nice ramp, and this whole week was just consolidating sideways in a nice tight range. So keep a close eye on this. If you start to see it come out to the top side of this flag, that's going to be my signal for me using my risk at either a prior low day or at the top of the flag where I want to see resistance turn support. Let's take a look at KBH, a home builder and one of my favorite home builders to trade. And I love the setup right here. We've got a nice little cup and handle forming and holding right above that 15 support area. So this is such a tight range. It gives you the best risk versus reward that you can get. You're talking about a 20 cent to 30 cent risk for a possible move out of this breakout up into 1650 or so. So you can get a dollar range on a first target of resistance off a 20 cent risk with this nice support area if we continue to hold it up. So watch into next week, make sure we hold that support area and look to see if we start to form this cup and handle and start to get that breakout. All right, next let's go ahead and take a look at MU. Had this one on watch for a while as we started consolidating right here under 18. Looked like it was going to get that breakout, but just never really came, and then kind of pulled back a little bit with the rest of the market. But since then now has rallied right over that 18 mark and actually right up to our next resistance area around 1920. The one thing I like about this chart is the small day that it gave us today. That tight range day gives us an opportunity to have a nice risk if it decides to break out over 1930 on Monday and continue higher. It gives us a prior low that we can use to base our risk off of and still give the stock enough room to manipulate and move without having to use that 1940 area or the resistance turn support as risk. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at NXTM. Finally made its way out of 26 bucks and has been consolidating all week and holding that 26. So you've got that resistance turn support and just a nice little flag here. Our 20-day moving average is about to cross the 50-day moving average. So again, just another bullish sign. The stock's been trending up. That's the whole point of trading, is trading stocks that are trending up. And this one looks like it's ready to start continuing its trend after it consolidated through all of this area here. So watch that on Monday, see if we get that break over the prior highs, and that could really start the next leg up there. SEAS. Reported earnings back on the 8th and actually had a pretty good pop on big volume after reported earnings and made it right above our prior resistance or a major resistance here right around 16. And now it's just kind of pulled back a little bit, but testing that 17 area again. So just going to watch and see if we start getting above that 17 area, 1720 area, and also make sure that we don't break below our set of higher lows down here. If we start breaking below the higher lows this way and start pulling back, then the idea is kind of broken out and we're going to need to consolidate a little bit more, probably give it more time before it sets up again. Next, let's take a look at TPC. So we had this on watch last week. I didn't put it on the top watch because it was kind of already overextended. And then it just started the week off and completely ramped up and ended up coming all the way up to 30 bucks to just to start the week off. And now it's pulled back a little bit and back down towards 25, which is going to be that major resistance area that it broke out of. So that's resistance turning support. Going to see if we start holding that 25.75 area. If we do, then I think we got a good shot at heading back up towards this 30 area. And again, this tight range of days down near support are the areas that give you the best risk versus reward entry. All right, guys, and that is going to wrap it up for this week's swing trading watch list and market update video. If you guys haven't already, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys got on your watch list going into next week. And of course, don't forget to check out the website eatsleeptrade.net. From there, you can follow me on Twitter as well as like our Facebook page, so you can stay up to date on all the stocks that we are watching and trading. Hopefully you guys are watching us. Last week we nailed some big trades on OCLR, AMD, CC, and TCK. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video.